What up, what up, what up, good people? What's up, what's up, what's up? I'm on a roll, child. If y'all could see, if y'all don't know, I done put out a lot of videos already in these short couple of days. I'm dropping stuff, child. I'm here to come and talk to y'all and politic with y'all. I'm feeling a lot better, like I said. I'm still kind of working through some things. Let me get my phone ready. You see my phone case, child? I made it myself. I'm about to make another one. Let me get some things ready for y'all, child. Let me get it ready so we could talk about what we out here in these streets trying to talk to y'all about. What I'm trying to talk to y'all about. So in this video, we're going to talk about DDG and Halle again. Child, if you have not seen my last video about what is transpiring with them via the internet and our group chat that they added us to, go check that video out and then come back to this one because this is pretty much an update. Then we're going to talk about Casanat. We're going to talk about Soulja Boy. We're going to talk about Chris Brown. We're going to talk about Megan, Tory, and Kelsey. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Diddy. Not too much on Diddy. We're not going to do too much on Diddy because I am not, I'll tell y'all for one, I'm really not following that case because it's a little bit disturbing and it's a trigger warning for me. So I cannot follow that case so closely for y'all. So I have to apologize it's a little bit on my list. Not much. We're not going to talk about much on that, but we still going to talk about it. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share to y'all. So let's get started in this Friday night. Just child. I'm in a dancing mood. I don't know why. I've been feeling like dancing all day. I've pretty much been singing and dancing all day. I was sitting at my desk today singing and dancing. People was looking at me like, this girl is singing. Yes, I am singing. I sing all the time. If you don't know, I sing all the time. I sing all the time. Anyway, let's get to it. But first, we're going to start off with, and I'm going to post a picture up here, child. I'm going to post a picture up here for y'all. Post a picture up here. Or here. Y'all already know how I do. So we're going to talk about this Texas mom. Child, this Texas mom, she was recently arrested for helping her son get prepared for a school pum-pumming, child. Helping him prepare. So let me just read what they have. It says, Texas mom arrested after allegedly helping her son prepare to carry out a mass school pum-pumming. And it was at a middle school. She purchased ammunition, allegedly, and tactical gear, allegedly. Grandmother alerted authorities after the boy said he was going to be famous. Child, y'all see her picture? Now she famous and he famous. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know what's going on. Why would you? There's something mentally have to be going on in this situation because there's no way that you are going to be a cognizant adult or a cognitive adult or an adult with cognitive critical thinking and you say, oh, I want to help my kid carry out a mass school pum-pumming. It's not adding up. The math ain't mathing because there's no way anybody, any one of my children or any one of my non-existent children, like any one of these kids, like my nieces, like anybody is going to come to me and say, auntie, mommy, whatever, can you purchase me some tactical gear and other things so that you can carry out this deed. I don't even understand why she thinks that this is okay. But then again, look at her mugshot, child. Look at the tattoo, child. I'm not one to judge, and I'm not judging. But I'm just saying, if I'm judging or looking at the profile picture that we have here, wherever, child, there's something wrong. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. There's something wrong. A screw is loose. It's not tight enough, and something needs to get checked out. But that's neither here nor there. I am not one to judge. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this situation, because this is ridiculous for me, especially in 2025, and especially with the climate that we have in 2025. Like, what in the world would possess you to do something like that, or even want to do something like that? I don't know, child. So let's move on. We're gonna move on, because I'm not gonna lose brain cells trying to rack my brain or figure out what's going on with this situation, child, at the all. Anyway, let's move on. We're gonna do an update about DDG and Halle. Remember what I said yesterday? I don't like to talk on people who explicitly tell us not too much on their peoples, and she told us to mind our business a couple of months ago. But for some reason, I just feel like I need to be in her business just a little bit this time. Anyway, so as y'all know, when I spoke about the video yesterday, she was granted a restraining order against him because of all the things that had been happening in the last couple of months. Even before she was pregnant with the baby, things were happening, and it kind of like escalated. And then I think the final straw was when he texted her on Mother's Day, because I think she feels like if she leaves the baby with him, he's not going to return the baby to her. So I think that's I think that was a catalyst for her to actually take action, because of what happened or what transpired during Mother's Day. And she feels like, oh, I'm going away for a couple of months and I got to go film this film. If I leave my baby with this dude, allegedly, this is all alleged, and in my opinion, that if I leave my baby with this dude, that he might not want to give him back, or and God knows when I'm gonna see my child again, stuff like that. So I think that was a catalyst. But ultimately, she filed a restraining order. She was granted a restraining order. Like I said last time, in order to get a restraining order, you have to have evidence, right? And you have to present that evidence to a judge that makes the ruling. This is not no copy and paste. Oh, I'm going online and I'm going to copy this stuff in there, paste it in there, and then be granted a restraining order. Absolutely not. That's not how it works. You have to go to a judge. You have to have evidence. There's a hearing with a lawyer, or probably yourself, because I didn't have a lawyer. But that's normally how it works. So she got granted a restraining order, and then she was also granted temporary sole custody of the baby while she's away for 8 weeks, or however many weeks it is, filming this movie. So she has another win, which in her documents, because I listened to like the document reading and stuff. So in her document, she's kind of already stated that she had sole custody of the kid, that he doesn't pay child support, he doesn't help her with anything outside of, I think, one time or something like that. He did monetary things, and he doesn't pay child support and stuff like that. And then, she stated all that in her documents. So she was granted sole custody temporary until, I think in June 6th, they have a court date that they have to both appear and, present their evidence or whatever, and then the ruling will be made then. But then also on top of that, allegedly, Kai Cenat kind of like blackballed him from the Streamer University, because I'm gonna play the video at the end of the segment. After I speak about everything, at the end of the segment, I'm gonna play a video, and I'm gonna put up the messages too. But allegedly, Kai Cenat also blackballed him from the Streamer University, because y'all know recently, I think about maybe a week or two ago, Kai Cenat said he's gonna do a Streamer University, and he opened it up. I'm assuming everybody applied, because there was a conversation that happened between him and somebody else, and he was saying, the other guy was saying that, oh, he can't mess with him if he didn't get picked, and the dude didn't get picked either. But yeah, I don't know, child. I don't know. But I think that him and Kai Cenat was falling out, or allegedly falling out, or having a little issue from that one time where they called each other corny, and they was kind of like sort of arguing or something. I don't know if it was for the streamers or what it was for. I don't know. It seemed real to me. It seemed like they was both agitated with each other. But I mean, this is another stab, a drill that letting you know that he don't deal with you like that. But I'm gonna play that at the end of this segment, not the end of the video, just at the end of the segment. Then on top of all of that, some other irrelevant character named Soldier Boy gets in the comments and talks about, oh, you hit the Little Mermaid, you did this and this and that. When I see you, it's on site, yada 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 yada. Now, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. There was a show called Love and Hip Hop a long time ago. I'm dating myself. And this irrelevant character named Soldier Boy was on that show. And guess what he got accused of? Putting his hands on his baby mama. Girlfriend, baby mama at the time, whatever the case may be. I can't remember that girl name. But if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. So my whole thing is, again, hello pot, hello kettle. Pot calling the kettle once again. Child, why are you even entering the chat? We thought that after the stunt at the inauguration that you were, or whatever that was, that we would never see you again. I was hoping that that was the case. But clearly you feel like somebody wants to hear your voice. Nobody wants to hear your voice. Especially on a situation like this where you yourself got accused of doing the same thing and we seen the video or heard the footage. Listen, I feel like all of y'all dudes need to take a back seat because y'all memory is not long. Y'all memory is very short. And for you to get here and say, oh, you put your hands on such and such and such, but you got called out for doing the same thing, if not worse, to your girlfriend at the time, baby mother. I think she's your baby mother now, but your girlfriend at the time. And then of course DDG responded, of course. But I'm gonna put the tweets, I'm gonna put the things up. I think he did a video responding to Soldier Boy. And but yeah, I don't even want to talk about Soldier Boy in this video, so I'm gonna end that here. We're gonna end it here. Because I feel like he's irrelevant. DDG was streaming for a little bit, but he got cut off because he couldn't really plead his case because nobody wasn't listening. Everybody is kind of like picking a side, pretty much. He weaponized the internet to his advantage, and now he's eating that humble pie because now the internet is weaponized against him. Because she did not come to the internet, she went to court. And TMZ was the people who came to the internet and let us know that she went to court. So she did not do anything on the internet. She did everything and moved exactly how she was supposed to move. But at the end of the day, we're going to leave that to the actual court to decide their fate. Point blank, period. But my whole take is, if Kasana is distancing himself because of the situation, understandable. But he just needs to know that it's going to be a lot of people pulling out from him because of her and who she was. He knew who she was. He thought he was going to use that against her because he thought that he had the upper hand from her. But now he's going to realize that there's a lot more people who still support her than he thinks. And there's a lot more business that she can get that he cannot. So that's why a lot of people are going to pull away from him and not necessarily attach themselves to her, but definitely pull away from him. So he's going to feel the sting that he wanted her to feel, which is ironic. The tables have turned. Uno reverse on your tail. And then Soldier Boy, nobody cares what he has to say. I don't even understand why he even entered the chat. So we just going to exit him stage left and keep it pushing. It's going to get messy before it gets better. The brother online crying and doing all that stuff yesterday. I only posted his video yesterday. His girlfriend name is Brittany, and she's on TikTok, and she's exposing even more trash behavior from him. If you guys want to head over to TikTok and go find Miss Brittany, Dub's baby mama, what was his name? Woo Wop? Child. She's over there talking about how he left the baby was sick, and she wanted to go see what the baby, make sure that the baby was sick. He's not a baby, but I'm just saying baby because he's a kid. She wanted to go make sure or see why the baby was sick or see what's going on with the baby, if she needed to take him to the doctor or hospital, whatever. And they locked her out. She could not get in. he was locked in the house with the boy's girlfriend, newer girlfriend or whatever, and they would not let her in to see her child. That's what she over there on TikTok talking about. So he should be crying about his own situation as opposed to tearing up and getting sentimental about something that's going on with his brother. Anyway, we're gonna wrap that segment up. I'm gonna play these videos for y'all, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic.
I didn't get one email for Streaming University. Did I get declined?
All right, so now that y'all watched all of that stuff, we gonna move on to Chris Brown. I'm gonna put it up here. You already know. So Chris Brown he tweeted Free Tory Lanez the other day, and then the following day after he tweeted Free Tory Lanez, child, he got arrested. So free Chris Brown, it should have been the tweet. Okay, somebody gonna tweet that. I don't know who it is. I'm not doing it. I'm just saying. Anyway, he got arrested, and yeah, he got arrested, and then he was also ultimately denied bail. Right? So Chris Brown officially charged with grievous bodily harm in the UK. Right? So that clearly he smashed a tequila bottle on the head of a music producer in a club. Right? Don Julio, child. Don Julio. And this is going to probably derail his tour a little bit, because he was supposed to be gearing up to go on tour. And I know there was a lot of people online talking about the ticket prices. There was like a whole big controversy maybe a couple of weeks ago about the ticket prices and the ticket prices being too high and stuff like that. So he got online and, he made a statement, and I thought that was very distasteful for him to say, well, if the ticket prices are too high and you don't have it, just say you ain't got it and don't come, and I thought that was very distasteful for someone who is, you have a lot of fans still love Chris Brown. Don't get me wrong, Chris Brown makes really good music. Despite all, his character flaws, he makes really good music. And he has a lot of people that still listen to him, that still follow him, and things of that nature. And for you to get online and say to your fans who follow you and pay money, spend all this money to go to your concert, take pictures with you, and for you to say don't come just so nonchalantly, like, what does that say about how you feel about your fans? You have people like fans that it's been documented that will pay $1,000 just to take a picture of him, $1,500 just to take a picture of him. I think last year they did like a whole segment or a series where women were like paying like thousands of dollars just to take a picture with him outside of what they've already paid for the concert. So this is like a VIP payment where you pay $1,000. I think he was doing a sale for $1,000, but normally like $1,500, $200 just to take a picture with him and like these poses or whatever. So for you to nonchalantly say don't come, it kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth. Not saying that I wouldn't go to his concerts or anything like that, but the people who do like you, who do support you, what does that say about them? Or how you feel about them? It's like, I don't know. I just feel like it was just really distasteful. Anyway, he's locked up. One of his fans is probably gonna say free him. But I don't know. It might be taboo because the next day he got jammed up. Yeah, but let's see how he figures this out. And then let's see if this gonna put a stop to his concert his tour. Because they deny him bail. And I think this happened last year. So for them to catch up with him now and deny him bail, they're going to hold him for a while. Plus, that's the UK. And they really strict in the UK about, like, not violence so much because it does happen, but, like, weapons, I'll say. And then he used a Ciroc bottle as a weapon, child, or Don Julio bottle as weapons, child. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next story. So y'all already know, piggybacking off of Chris Brown and Free Tory Lanez, y'all already know that Tory Lanez last week, he got assaulted in prison. His dad came on, made a statement. He thought he was gonna, he thought that was the end. He was, going home to see the Lord, child. And then his dad was like, he didn't know what he was gonna do, child. He made a whole speech. I think his dad want to be in the spotlight too, just from the court case and all the stuff that was going on, child. He wants to be seen and heard. But yeah, so that happened last week. I think the guy who did it, he had done something like this before. And so now his lawyers comes out and releases a statement that he wasn't the one who pum-pumed Megan. It was Kelsey who pum-pumed Megan, right? But if you kind of like follow the case, you would have already known that Kelsey's original statement said that he did it. Then she retracted her statement, which allegedly people believe that they gave her hush money, allegedly hush money, so that she could retract her statement. And then they pushed for her lawyer to go and get her immunity in order for her to testify, right? So then, and also then when she testified, a lot of her testimony was in favor of Tory, right? Because everybody was calling her trash. That was her friend. They was friends for so long. How could you do that to your friend? X, Y, and Z, right? So that's why everybody believed. Then she came out with a diss track to Megan. So everybody was really like, oh, she was never her friend. She was secretly hating all the time on the low, whatever, this, that, and the third. Some speculate that his lawyer intentionally pushed for her to get immunity, so this would be a play for them if he was to get convicted. Now, we all know that he did get convicted. Now they can piggyback off of that. This is kind of like their Uno reverse card. I'm going to put the video at the end of this segment when I'm done talking at the end of the segment and show y'all what his lawyer said. And then also Megan's lawyer came back and did a rebuttal. But so I feel like initially speculating, also allegedly, in my opinion, they initially, when the case was rolling, this is probably what their plan was from the beginning. Oh, we're going to hush her up. This is all alleged. Hush her up with the money. Try to get her lawyers to go for immunity. And then piggyback off that. If we get jammed up and you just so happen to get convicted, we can put an appeal and push it on her as opposed to you. Now, the evidence for the Pum was inconclusive, and I don't think they found his DNA. I can't remember that part. But that's a smart play, yes. But there's several witnesses corroborating it. Now they're saying his lawyer is pretty much saying that the one of the witnesses is saying that it wasn't him, it was Kelsey, and he made a whole statement. I'm gonna play the statement, and then Megan's lawyer came back. Let me see if I screenshotted what he said. Here is that story.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James 4 times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case.
Megan Thee Stallion's attorney, Alex Shapiro, has released the following statement to XXL about Tory Lane's attorney claiming that claiming they have evidence that proves Megan was pum-pumed by Kelsey, right? So Tory Lanez was tried and convicted by a jury of his peers, and his case was properly adjudicated through the court system. This is not a political matter. This is a case of a violent assault that was resolved in the court of law. That is what Megan's lawyer said as a rebuttal. Either way it goes, they're still gonna have to hear it out, because if they filed, if they are fighting it, then they're gonna have to prove that. They're gonna have to prove that without they're gonna have to prove it. Plus, he I think he got 10 years. He's already served 1 year, so they're gonna have to prove what their statements, and they're gonna have evidence to corroborate what they stated. So I don't know how this is gonna pan out, but I just feel like they got the right person. They got the right person. My opinion, all alleged. Again, they got the right person, and I feel like he's gonna be fighting the whole time that he in prison. That 10 years that he gotta serve. Oh, excuse me. The whole time he's in prison, that 10 years that he gotta serve, I feel like he's gonna be fighting this case back and forth, and they're gonna be coming with 1,001 excuses, and they're just gonna keep fighting. I don't know. It just seems like it, and I don't feel like Meg is gonna ever be able to have her chance to kind of like rest from this situation, because I feel like every couple of months it's back on our timelines. So I don't think she's ever gonna have a real chance to like recoup from the situation. And plus, she got motion right now, so it's just, yeah, she got motion right now. So it's like, I don't know. She is like, she's not gonna be able to live it down. That's the words I'm looking for. I apologize. Yeah, I don't think she's ever gonna be able to live it down. And plus, right now she got motion. She all over the place. She dropping hits. So they're gonna keep revisiting this, and they're gonna wear it out until they can't wear it out no more. So I don't think she's ever gonna be able to put this to bed. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about the situation. Drop down in the comments and let me know if y'all think that, if y'all believe that Kelsey did it. I keep calling her Chelsea. I don't know why I want to keep calling her Chelsea, but her name is Kelsey. Kelsey kind of like did it all. Drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all think about that whole situation. Child, I really think that they should just let it go and put it to bed. After the situation that happened with him in prison, they probably gonna end up transferring him to either another prison, or they're gonna put him in PC. That's how I feel, because I think he was in Gen Pop, but I think he's gonna be in PC from now because of the situation. And you know, people, that dude who did that, he got life. I think he got life, so he don't care. He ain't got nothing to lose. But let's move on to our final story, and we're gonna talk a little bit about P. Diddy's case. I'm put it up here. So if y'all haven't been following for the last couple of days, P. Diddy his case has been going on, and Cassie testified for 2 days, and I think the stories that I'm hearing of the things that she was saying, I was disturbed. It really disturbed me, the stuff that she said. She brought a bunch of key profile people in. They talked about Michael B. Jordan. They talked about Kid Cudi. They talked about a few other people. Justin Bieber's people released a statement saying that he was not groomed or anything by P. Diddy. So, you know, they're trying to like separate him. Usher has never spoke about it from beginning. He's never spoke about it. But yeah, so she's testified for a couple of days. He filed the motion for that her husband her now current husband is not allowed in the courtroom. She's also pregnant, and y'all know she broke down on the stand. She was crying. Because a lot of this stuff is pretty hard to relive. If you have ever been in a situation like this, like that, not to that severity, but just in a remotely situation like that, it's really hard to relive, because every time you tell the story, it's like you reliving it all over again. A lot of people have mixed emotions about it. People are online talking about, oh, but she took the money. She should have never took the money. Oh, this and that. She should have told sooner. She should have left sooner. It's a hard situation. He caught that girl when she was very young, at the peak of her career, very, very young, very, very impressionable. And so a lot of stuff that people, you accept, it's like Stockholm Syndrome. I'll say that. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. So when people have Stockholm Syndrome, it's literally like you fall in love with your abuser or your kidnapper or whatever the case may be is. And it's hard to break that cycle when you have Stockholm Syndrome. And I feel like, in a sense, that's kind of sort of what we were dealing with here. But in the same notion, you also become immune to what's happening to you. That's why she said she had to kind of like constantly be on DRUGS, because you still have to live with your thoughts, so I'm not entertaining foolishness, so please don't get in my comments saying none of that foolishness, because I don't want to hear it. But I just feel like that situation is not easy to get on the stand and testify and then relive and yada yada yada, right? Now, we also know that Dawn from DDG Kane, she is also suing him. So not only will she testify in her case, possibly, she is set to testify tomorrow or maybe Monday, because it's Friday, in this Diddy case as well, because she witnessed some things, allegedly. She witnessed some things that transpired between Cassie and P. Diddy, where he was yelling and arguing and fighting with her, and then he also tried to hit her with a cast iron or a skillet pan with some full of eggs in it or whatever, and she is probably going to testify to that, as well as some other things that she had seen, witnessed, and experienced, to corroborate her story. But then they have several other witnesses that's going to come on to testify. Now, the most disturbing thing that it disturbs me to see his young daughters sit in court and listen to that stuff. Even though I think they said that they had removed them during that part of the testimony, for them to sit in the courtroom, yes, I understand they want to support their dad 100%, but I don't think that they should be privy to that information if they were never privy to the actions. I don't think that they should have to hear those things. I don't think they should have been in court, because there's a time where you as a grandmother, but we already know that his mother is an enabler. It comes a time where you as a grandmother have to step in and say, listen, this stuff is a bit much. Y'all have to take a step back and not show up in court for a couple of days. But I'm 100% sure, allegedly, in my opinion, that he is instructing his mom to have his kids at the court to soften the blow, but it's not gonna make it any better. I don't think those girls should be subject to this type of trauma so early in their life. But then they're gonna have to live with this for the rest of their lives. They're gonna have to live with that for the rest of their lives and be sheltered because of that. Especially if the outcome is not favorable, they're gonna have to live with that a long time. And then also, I listened to partially an interview. Albie Shore was doing an interview yesterday, and I kind of like listened to some of that interview yesterday, and he was talking about him and Kim Porter and the things that happened to him. So it's a lot of moving pieces with this case. I don't really want to report out on it because I am, it's a little bit triggering for me. So that's why I'm not really, as you can see, even though I haven't been posting any videos lately a lot, that is something that I'm not really going to touch on. The details of it. I'll skirt the outer skirts of it. Like I'll walk the outer skirts of it, but I'm not going to get into full detail on this channel about the ins and outs of what's happening in that case and what they're reporting out, because I follow a bunch of lawyers who are actually in the courthouse and they're blow by blow, and I don't, it's triggering. So anyway, with that being said, Dawn will be testifying. I if not today, then Monday, because I can't remember when this hit. Monday for sure. If not today, Monday, she's gonna be testifying, and I can imagine what she says on the stand. Because there was a reason, like I told y'all, when DIDDy Kane broke up, because I love DIDDy Kane. I still have one of their songs on my playlist. When DIDDy Kane broke up, I was kind of perplexed why he kept on. And then I seen the shift of the dark shift when her and Khalida was together and they was on stage and stuff. She was a different person, and I sensed that and I saw that. But I didn't understand why, and I didn't understand the shift. I knew she was very, very talented, and the other girls was just okay, but I did not understand the allure or the attraction to her. I understand that she was very, very talented, and then I did see the shift, and then they just disappeared. So it was a question in my head, but you know, it is what it is. But with that being said, y'all drop that in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think she's gonna talk about. Let me know how y'all feel about these subjects. Let me know if y'all think Kai's not really blackballed DDG. I think he's kind of like on a hush right now, and then when things kind of like blow over, they're gonna be back where they used to be. I don't know. Y'all drop that in the comments. Let me know if y'all think that's gonna happen. Let me know if y'all really give a crap about Soulja Boy inserting himself into any comment about DV, and he is a DV. Like, I don't. They memories be so short, child. I don't know. Let me know if y'all think Tory Lane's lawyer got a case, and who gonna be writing Free Chris Brown on my comments, child. Drop that in the comments and let me know what's going on. We're going to argue in the comments. We're going to discuss it in the comments. Thank y'all guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace. Peace.